How can I improve my self-esteem? All right, many of us suffer from self-esteem, and I'm talking about probably most of us, but we just don't even know it. You don't have to be shy. You don't have to be the quiet kid in the class to be the one that's suffering from self-esteem. You could be the one that's a basketball player. You could be the celebrity. You could be the singer. You could be the athlete. You could be the actor that's suffering from low self-esteem. But how can we improve this? Like, how can we improve our self-esteem? What are 3 tips that we can use to improve our self-esteem? And I want to talk about 2 dynamics, 2 things people tend to neglect or people are unaware of when they think about themselves, when they see themselves, right? And that's your character and your reputation. What are you nourishing? All right, so let's think about your character as this pen, right? So this is you. This is me. This is you. And your reputation is your shadow, right? So what people tend to do is they tend to nourish their shadow instead of their reputation, because they can move themselves in alignment to help their reputation. So therefore people can like what they do instead of who they are, right? And when we tend to nourish our reputation, our shadow, and neglection of our character suffers. Who we are suffers, right? And like I said, you could be anything. You could be the actor, a basketball player, but you are nourishing your reputation so much that you inside suffer. Because I can remember when I was in high school, right? This is the worst. I remember I nourished my reputation so much that I got sick in my character. Like, I physically got sick. There's some times when I literally made a decision not to do my homework, right? I made a decision to cut class. Why? Because I was trying to nourish my reputation. I made a decision. Sometimes, I remember this one time, this is the worst. I literally did 2 homeworks, right? Because I wanted to nourish my reputation, but I wanted to have some integrity in my character. So what I did was that I did 1 homework that was trash, that was not good, and I showed it to my friends, showcasing that I was just like them. I was doing homework doing homework that was bad and making them laugh. I made them laugh when I did that. But then I had another homework in which I really did my work. I wanted to have some integrity in myself, in my character, right? And that's the one I showcased to my teacher. So my friends didn't know that I gave him the right homework, and I showed him the wrong homework. But I went through so much trouble trying to maintain my reputation, my shadow, and neglection of my character. And like I said, I got so sick back then, and I never understood why. But now I do, because your body will eventually, if you continue to nourish your reputation, your body, it will eventually showcase its character in a faulty manner. Why? Because this never got nourished. Your character never got nourished. And what I realized is one thing, right? Listen to me very carefully. That when you put so much high value on your reputation, you compromise your integrity and you damage your character. And this will in turn damage your body, your soul, who you are. And when you can get that if you put such a high value on your reputation, you compromise your integrity, who you are, and you damage your character. And it will showcase itself sooner or later. For those who are sacrificing their passion, right, their character, to fit the reputation that the mold that their parents want them to be, or for those that are promiscuous, that are in a relationship or have a wife, and they cheat because their friends say they're not the man anymore, right? For those who do things that are not in alignment with who they are, their character, eventually they'll suffer. Eventually, due to the law of cause and effect, they're gonna feel back the pain that they put forth on themselves. So Ralph, what do I do? Like, what can I do to help get back into my character and improve my self-esteem? Number 1, what do you do to nourish your reputation? Like, what are the things that you do to nourish that reputation that you have? Like, write it down, right? Okay, for instance, I cut class. I don't do my homework. I lie to my wife. Like, what do you do to nourish your reputation and neglect your character? You write it down. We all know exactly what we do. I knew what I did. I was aware of what I did to nourish my reputation and to damage my character. Now, number 2, what can you do to nourish your character? Like, ask yourself that. What can you do to nourish who you are, your character, right? I can remember this one time that, this was in college. This was one of the girls, she told me that, she's a beautiful girl, and Paige, that's her name. She told me one time that she always saw me smiling. Like, I just always smiled, and I couldn't help it. I never really understood why I always smiled, but then I realized one thing, because a lot of people have been telling me that, you always smiling, you always have that cheese in your face, and I couldn't help it, and I'm smiling now, I can't help it now. But well, what happened was that I nourished my character so much in neglection of my reputation that my reputation and my character fused into one, and now I haven't gotten sick in 2 years. Now people see me and they get attracted, they smile. Because I realized my character was far more important. Who I was far more important than the reputation I was showcasing, I was giving off. And I was not willing to make a new reputation just to fit the mold of the people, of the character traits that it needed to be cool. Right? I was going to fit in the character of myself. And in turn, when you do that, and you fit into the character of yourself, people tend to be more attracted to you. They like you even more. So if you can nourish your character, if you can understand what can I do to nourish my character, then you will see more of what you want. You get more of what you want, and nourish yourself at the same time. You get more than you give. You get more than you give off, because you're nourishing who you are. Number 3, and this is a big one. Change it. Like, change it. Like, once you become aware of it, because now you are consciously aware of what you are doing. You're consciously aware that I'm sacrificing my character for my reputation. And you wrote it down. And I realized one thing. If you don't, you guys can hear me talk all you want, but if you don't write it down, if you don't make a decision to write things down, then you don't care. You don't want to change. But if you write this down, if you write things down, then you're going to realize, what can I do to help myself? What can I do to improve myself? What can I do to better myself, to better my life, to better my family's life, to better my kids' life? What can I do, right? So, change it. And then this can mean you're going back to school and telling your teacher, listen, I've been constantly making a decision to not do my homework, to not study, but now I will nourish my character because I know what's right for me. Right? I know what's right for me to nourish myself and to neglect my reputation. And then you're going to come to realize that you are so much more than you thought you were, because you nourished your reputation so much you forgot who you were, your character. You neglected your character and you nourished your reputation. But when you come back into yourself, I'm telling you that you won't stop smiling either. You actually feel where I'm coming from, and people will feel where you're coming from. So hope that helped. Your character is far more important than your reputation. Always know that. If you put such a high value on your reputation, you compromise your integrity and damage your character. Done.